Hey guys, Zenara here, and today I wanted to kind of do a fun video. I think it was a couple of months ago that Can You Say G, I think Zestral from Yellow Card and different fight. And I think it was other people too, but they did a Bermuda tier list, and I thought it was actually really funny that anyone actually did a Bermuda tier list based on their arts. So I wanted to do one, but not the exact same way as them. We kind of got this like grid quadrants. So we got today's strength, which is like how valuable the card is today, and we got how awful the card is now. So like how bad it is, and how is not usually played. We have cuteness on the left and attractiveness on the right. So these are just my personal tastes. But all of this whole list is just for fun. It isn't meant to be taken seriously. So yeah, I'm just gonna start and just go in order. So first we have Olivia. So her strength, like when she was released, will probably be up here, and how viable and how important she was to the clan. But like compared to today's strength, her strength isn't that used. Like they make copy strides. So she's below here. But now the like for the card itself, like how it looks, I really like the design of the card. So I think she has more attractiveness than she does like cuteness. So Olivia's gonna go right here. Next we got Princess Promised Labrador. I think that's the stride. So this was a free stride that you could just flip it up, and you got Prism as a heart. You choose one of your Prism rear guards, he gets 5k, and at the end of the battle, tap or boost it, you can return the hand. I really like the design of this stride during the time when she was released. So then, like Olivia, back then, her play was probably like up here for prisms, but it's been a while, so I don't think she's really used as a first stride in prisms anymore. It's free, but it isn't like really used. As for like cuteness or attractiveness, personally, I think like she's like a grown-up version of she's practically grown up. So I think she's like more attractive than she is cute. So she's like right next to Olivia for me. So we got Celebrate Voice Loris. This card was like, it was Cowboss 1. You could choose any card in your G zone, flip it up, bounce as many as your rear guards as there is face-up cards in the G zone. Then on attack, if you have all your units in harmony, you give 3 units 5k, and this unit gets a crit. So back then, I think she was probably more on the lines of like right here, since Olivia was still better in some ways, but it gave Harmony a little bit extra power, since Olivia was like, she was the first card to actually like be the stride boss of Bermuda, since it just gave you 2 extra attacks, or an extra lane to attack in, sorry. As for usefulness, she has some interesting things, but isn't like really used all that well. All that much, other than like in Harmony or just as a tech card with Lila. So on like the attractiveness or cuteness, I think she rates more cuteness than attractiveness. That's just because I feel like that she's more of a, I think she was a high school student in her like first 2 forms, and I think she's like graduated now, but this is like her first year, so like her first time being an idol. So I think she rates more cuteness. So I'm gonna put her right here. Now we have yes, Vert the Stride Vert. So she was Limit Break 4. I believe she was Counterblast 1 at the end of the battle. If you have a Prism Heart, you can discard, I think, 2 prisms from your hand. No, 2 cards from your hand, and then choose a prism from your hand. That's a grade 3. You can ride it. So you can sell with the break ride and do all types of shenanigans. Now Vert's strength back in the past was like way up here. Oops, sorry. It was way up here because of the extra drive check you got. If you rode the break ride, then you showed it to her. You had grade 3 Labrador to get extra attacks and extra critical. You have so many combos you could do with Labrador, and I'm with Vert, and it was really fun to play back then. But her strength is like really diminishes prisms. Is not really even a deck anymore until they get like a V series boost, or maybe the premium collection strike can help. Who knows? But yeah. So her strength is very low. So I know a lot of people think that she's really cute. I think she's a little bit more attractive in that she's more grown up. Since, I mean, her first version seemed like she was more younger, but well, age doesn't really like apply to Bermuda since they're all like really old. So I'm gonna put her in the same category as like Labrador and Olivia, but okay. I guess I do like that. All 3 of them are the same. So next we got Velvet, the Stride Reindeer, yeah. I believe it's like when you check the grade 3, Caraboss 1, Solos 1, flip her self energy zone. You can return a unit to your hand. This unit gets 3k in the drive, I believe. I don't remember. I don't think you call a card. So her strength back in the past, I mean, it was I've seen some reindeer decks that were topping and doing stuff, especially when V series started to come for Bermuda and everyone's using the trial deck cards. It was interesting, to say the least. Now, like reindeer as a deck, like as of now, like compared to these two, I can see she has some potential, but I mean her strength is pretty much like probably lower than Labrador's, since reindeer doesn't have a force gift, or like the deck itself is kind of like high rolly, but that might change later. So she's sort of like what the other units are. As for like attractiveness and cuteness, of course she's supposed to be more attractive than cute, so I'm gonna put it right here. Next we got Rate, the Stride Rate. So she's Lumen Break 4, Caraboss 1. At the end of the battle that she attacked, discard 3 duels of the same name, and you can choose a card for your G-Zone, same as her. You can ride it, stride it, and then she gets -2 drive. This card was awful. It was awful. Like, yeah, it was another. It was a stride that duels could use, but like, I think at the time, I think Anja's stride was just better. You had other cards in Olivia. Like even during that time, Olivia was still kind of decent. But duels just fell off hard. Duels is just bad. She's like really awful. Now, for her, like cuteness or attractiveness, sorry, she's more of like in the middle to me, but I think she's more attractive than cute, so she'll go in the middle. Well, she'll go like where reindeer is, maybe slightly back. Yeah. Yeah, Rate is just terrible. So like at the bottom of the bottom, that's just like how bad the card is now. It's just awful. Now Tira, of course everyone knows what Tira does. On your apps, you can flip a card into G zone. All your front row shoot gets 5k for every open rear guard circle. The GB3, bot deck 3, resand -2 drive. The card strafe is still up here. It's still used and it's still abused. Well, not abused, but it's the only re-standard Bermuda has, and it's still really, really good, and it's still annoying, especially with Force 2 now. Yeah, it wasn't a bad card, not even on release. It still played. So for like attractiveness and cuteness, honestly, like she's in the middle for me. Like, yeah, she can be cute and she can be attractive, but she's just like, she's more of like Hinata from Naruto, in my opinion. Like, yeah, she can be cute, she can be attractive, but she's just in the middle to me. I feel like she just is like Hinata, you know? Alright, next, Shizuku. I have a friend that really loves Shizuku, so I want to see his reaction once I place her. So her skill was Combos 1. I do not believe it was Persona Flip. Yeah, it was Persona Flip. Yeah, Persona Flip. Look at the top 5 cards for a grade 3. Reveal up to 2. You reveal up to 2 of grade 3s, add them to your hand. Then show any amount of Shizukus you have in your hand. She gained 5,000 power. And your opponent can't guard with those cards. So when she was revealed, she was pretty decent, I think. It really helped Shizuku deck, especially since Sandy was a grade 2, and in grade 3, Search grade 2s. And Ellie was a card to make it defensive, so yeah. Even like the card showed up and it's still like played as a tech to find a grade 3 that you want. So I understand why she's being played. Now for attractiveness and cuteness, I will honestly say she radiates more cuteness than attractiveness than Tsurura. But I don't know, I just don't. I mean, yeah, her SP art is pretty attractive, but I like her SP art. I think it's the reason why I like it is because of her cuteness, really, of how like innocent she is with the crown. So sorry friend, I see her more cute than attractiveness. So next we have Amazing Mirror. Oh yeah. So her skill is Soul Watch 1. You can choose any face-up card in your G zone. It wasn't Persona Flip. Then you return all your duos to your hand with the same card name as many face-up duos, many face-up mirrors in the G zone as her. Then for every 2, she gets 5k in a crit. Yeah, for every 2 she gets 5k crit. So when she was released, it's a darling as a stride. It's good for duos, but at the time, you have cards like Tsurura. Yeah, strides like I think Reindeer was in that set. Yeah, stride like Tsurura. Yeah, strides like Shizuku. 5k in a crit, it is just too weak. Compared to like Guard Restrict that Bermuda finally got in a re-standing Vanguard, which Bermuda finally got. But duels as a whole is just not as good as it's just not as good the later on after like Legion, after Namul came out. So she's like at the far like lower end of being used. However, in the deck of duos, she is still played. She's the best stride that the deck has. So now I'm not into lollies, so she's more cute than she is to attractive. So she's not worse than Rate. Rate is just way worse. So she's right here. Oh yeah, I'm gonna save Anj for last. So we got Ellie. She's banned. So what do you think? She was OP. 1 card guard, almost any attack. You can recycle, keep using her over and over. With Aqua, you just have so much shield. Like, there's a reason why people hated Ellie is because you can it's possible you could have guarded Zoa with just 2 Ellies if you had like enough Aquas in the drop zone. And she's banned for the reason because she was just too powerful as a G guarding for Bermuda, which is understandable. So, I would say today's strength. Oops, sorry. I would say that her strength today, it will be like way up here where Turu is. But this isn't like how bad she is. It means that she's not played, so she's like all the way at the bottom. But for cuteness, I have to say like she's probably one of the more cuter units in my opinion. Next we have Aqua. So Aqua can still be played today. It's 6 PGs that you have in your deck. But now with the Sentinel crits coming out, who knows? Aqua might not be played. She still will be played. It depends. She still works for all the decks. Well, most of the decks, because you just put a card in the soul, and you can perfect guard your entire field if you need to. Oh, they just can't be hit to the end of battle. Yeah. So you just on place, put a card from soul. You can protect a unit of your choice that's being attacked. Then if you have, I think, 2 or more of her in the drop zone, all your units can't be attacked for that battle. I believe. I don't have the card text with me, but this is just off memory. So she's still useful. So she's like up here. Even though she hasn't played as much, she's still useful. Aqua radiates more of a cute vibe, so she will be right here. I think she's more used than Shizuku. Okay, next we got Auk. The Harmony Stride. That was supposed to be better than Olivia. It's more restrictive, but more power. So, it was at Combos 1, Persona Flip. Choose 2 of your Harmony Rear Guards to return to hand. Then the Vanguard's skill, when this unit attacks, return up to 2 for every 1 face-up card in your G zone, and return to hand. They call up to 2 cards. And then GB3, all your units in Harmony get 5k. So you get 10k lanes, you get multi-attacks. Like, if Anj wasn't restricted to 1, she will be like up here because you can still use her with Melody. And you could like reset your columns. I think there was a list from WCC that had a Melody, Harmony, Anj list, and it was pretty powerful. You had Sonata, Karo, just to make big lanes, and just to pressure, especially if they had Force 2. So yeah. But today, I mean, I think her strength is diminished a little bit because of the Anj hit, but she still played in a Harmony-based deck, so especially if Anya has some other Harmony units. I don't think she raised the trash. She's more cute than trapped in this, but she's like in the middle between Aqua and Shizuku. Alright, Irena, the Highlander card. So I believe her skill was when placed, look at the top 10. Reveal the top 10. If they're all different number units, I think you put them back to the deck first, but you don't shuffle. And then this unit can stand at the end of the battle. When it swings, shuffle your deck. So I believe that's what the card text said. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But yeah, Irena is, I mean, she's surprisingly decent in the Highlander deck. Of course, you want to play her for that nice double reset and get +4 in hand for no cost, other than just building Highlander. So yeah, she's good in that aspect. Her SP radiates more cuteness and her card art. So as for usefulness, she's like in the, well, not so much for premium because you're not really riding her premium, but in standard, she's okay. It's just a plus to hand. And I think we have Laura. Yeah. So she's another Highlander card. Her skill was one place. Reveal the top 10. They're all different. You call up to any number of those cards to Vanguard circle, and they all get 10k. And you put them back. You put the rest back. You shuffle deck. Irena's like, I think all the Highlander cards are pretty good in different scenarios. Like if your board gets wiped by like a board wipe, if you ride her, you can just refill it for free and give them extra 10k. That's 20k. That's like 20k extra power to a lane, which is insane. Especially if you ride in a Kaza, you can call more. But I think you can only call up to 5, so just be careful at the cell circle. So, her usefulness is like Arena's. Like you can use it in premium, so I think she has a little bit more use. Now for me, she radiates more of the attractiveness, so yeah, she's up here. Yeah. And a Kaza. So the last Highlander card that is pretty spicy. So when placed on the Vanguard circle, reveal the top 10. They're all different normal units. You get imaginary gift, excel, force, and protect. So her usefulness is actually better than these two, I feel, because of her like usefulness and premium. Yes, I know Highlander premium seems sort of weird and not really normal, but she did have some interesting interactions before Anj got hit, but now you have to legit play a Highlander deck to make it work. But who doesn't want an extra protect marker or excel marker? You can do some pretty interesting stuff with Highlander premium. I was testing it before, but I never really got around to testing the meta deck, so she's like a step above them because of her premium usage, and also standard, just getting excel, getting extra attack and force is just really strong. So yeah, she's up here. NK's is like where Ellie is in cuteness. So her SP is really adorable. Put Ellie right here. Her SP is really adorable, just like Ellie. And I don't know what's on here. No, I think she has a seahorse. So yeah, I kind of like seahorses. So we're almost done. We have Eve. So her skill is act. Look at the top card of your deck. You can call it. You call it to open RC. Their second skill is when your unit is affected by a trigger effect, you may double the power and double the critical too. So Eve is like in standard. I think she's slightly better than the Highlander because you don't have to play her with you don't really have to play a Highlander deck in order to get her effectiveness off, as in my Celsius Eve video that I made a couple months ago around Christmas time. Yeah, it was really she's interesting, as in the more Bermuda gets, the more like weird decks you can make with her. And the fact that she's a grade 4, it makes the deck slower, but it puts like a lot of pressure, as in your opponent doesn't know what you have in your, like what you put on top of the deck. It could be a heal, it could be a different card that you want, it could be anything. And also premium, she has that aspect where if you ride her, if you get a trigger, you get double the power. And like specifically with Highlander, you can filter out your deck pretty hard with Q-Tear. So attracted to cuteness, she rates more cuteness. So she's like right behind Enakeza, in my opinion. Enakeza is like high like Ellie's because they have pink hair. Honestly, I think I just like pink hair girls. So Coral. Her skill was act, combos 1, soul boss 2, return a rear guard to hand, and choose a card for a draw some return to hand. If you return a unit of coral, she gets 15k. And then her continuous skill was, if you soul blast 4 or more, all your corals critical becomes 2. So actually, out of the 3, I think coral is like, she can be stronger in her own way if you build in an aggressive way. And I have played games against coral where a friend of mine went with an aggressive version and he destroyed me on grade 2 turn because the deck just has so much power on a grade 2 turn if they have the right hand. It's sort of like Melody, but it was on grade 3 turn, but this is on grade 2 turn, so yeah. Well, today's strength, she's usually like played in a mix with other decks like Riviere, or sometimes even with Melody. So in Prima, she isn't really all that used. Well, I don't think she is used because yeah, you get a force marker, but the other coral is just way better for your rear guards. The only boon I could say of running her over the other coral is because you can get a card for the drop zone, and you can make your well, this has turn 3 pressure actually, and you can do it for a much cheaper cost, but at premium you want your corals in the soul. So yeah, I think she's really in the middle, to be honest. Now, cutest attractiveness, she's obviously designed to look more attractive, and a lot of people like her. So I'll put her here. So Pacifica, oh, that reminds me, I still have to do a video about my top 16 deck with the Vision tournament. I came in 15th place with Pacifica, so I'll probably be making a video soon. So Pacifica is, she only has 1 skill. So Soul Blast 1, based on how many Pacificas you have in your rear guard circle, she gets the following effects. If you have one of her, she gets 10k in 1 drive. 2, you create 2 force markers. 3, your opponent will have to guard with, I think it was 4 or more cards in hand. I should know the skill, but I'm just having a brain fart. So in premium, she has some interesting interactions because you have a bunch of grade 3s in premium. That's Pacifica. Yeah, so and with standard, I think she is like a pretty decent deck. The only there's a couple issues with it. It doesn't have a good grade 2 turn, so it's like it's only a grade 3 and a turn 3 and above deck, which you can build your deck to have, but you won't have consistency pieces to go against like Revon or other decks that might retire Pacificas. Yeah, the grade 1 can protect them, but there are just like some cards that get over it. So she's more of the line where I think maybe where Alk is. Pacifica is designed to be more cute, so I will put her. Yeah, I'll put her right here. Riviere. Riviere. V-Series Riviere. I knew that this card would be busted. I didn't think she'd be busted in standard format. Her skill is on place, Vanguard Circle, Crown Boss 1, discard 1 card, draw 2 cards. Then at the end of the battle that she attacked, discard 2 cards, write another Riviere from hand, as stand, draw -1. And this is a hard one to turn, because Riviere was insane without it. And I don't know why Bushy thought it would be a good idea to not have a 1 to turn. So, her strength today is still up here. It's standard. Like, most of her strength is because in Prima, she's one of the best decks for Bermuda. Like, yeah, sure, there are other variants that can try, but like, Riviere's is so much easier to play and is way more stronger. So her strength is like right where Tula is. Now, out of cuteness and attractiveness, I think she's more cute than attractive. I know I have another friend that like loves Riviera. I'm not saying that she's like worse than Tura because they're both at the same strength. She's just more cute. The Pearl Sisters. Okay. Basically, if each one of them, you go and run one copy of this card for each of them. Then, for each of the other Pearl Sisters, my bad. They give each other a power and crit. So I think the grade 1 gives a grade 2 18k, and the grade 2 gives the grade 1 20k. So they're both 28k, 2 crit, and they can't be like swung into because they're so high power. I don't like them as standard. I was hoping it was going to be something better than what we got, but it was just a Highlander card, which I wanted it to be something like a K or Benevere. That'll help the clan, but it's just more of a Highlander card. Now premium, they have a funny interaction where you can run like 3 of the old ones and 1 of the new one and trigger all of them, but that's not really good because you're running old cards. You might as well run the new cards. So about how cute they are, I mean, they're I guess they're like right here where Shizuku is, but I can see their value a little bit, so they could be right here. Now we got Sandy. I talked about Sandy multiple times. So her skill is when she attacks, count as 1, turn a card for your G-Zone face up. Look at the top 10 cards of your deck. Then you call up to a card for every 2 of your units in Harmony. So for every like unit you have that is in Harmony, you call up to 1. So you have 2 units in Harmony, you call 2. 4 units Harmony, you call 4. 6, you call 6. And then you call them and then you put them in your deck and you shuffle. Then for every critical you have, every critical, my bad. So for if you have 6 or more units in Harmony, for each card face of your G-Zone, she gets 1 crit. The card is still used today for a lot of Bermuda decks because she filters. She's not like Riviera insane, but she's still used up there just because she's generic. Quotation bars generic, because all you have to do is call a card behind her. You get +2 to the field. So yeah. Our cuteness, I'll say she's like right here. Right where Inakaze is. Yeah, I wish that she had like a different alternate art, or hopefully we'll get a grade 3 version so we have like all the grades. I don't think she has a grade 0, no. And lastly, my favorite card that unfortunately got hit to 1, Anj. So I know this is the Light Genius Anj version, but I'm just going to talk about both of them since it's only 2 cards. So the grade 4 on release, I think it was like maybe where Aqua is. Like she was CB2. Yeah, she got rid of Lock. And she could target your opponent's board. Got you 4 drive. It was a huge beast stick. She had utility options, but my favorite like option to use the grade 4 was with duos, because she was basically a better darling. So she was like a more expensive mirror, but you got more drives and you took cards out of your deck. So there was a deck where you just drew a bunch of cards. You had Crook, which is now to 1. You had Coronet, it just do multi-attacks. There was, I think I called it like Cormet, dual Cormet, which Cormet was like on place. If you have dual Vanguard, she gets 2k. If you reveal 3 cards with duos of the same name, she gets 5k. So it was 60k attacker, and I think it was a 20k, and you could just stack your deck with stands and just filter them out, because Anj was just draw 4. I mean, like, get 4 drive, draw +1, and then you had Darling. I mean, yeah, Peace, which just drew a bunch of cards. As of today, for the grade 4, she has uses, but I think she's like probably where Anakeza is for the grade 4. Cause like, it's like, if you need a recoup, then yeah, do it. But it's premium and everyone wants to kill you super fast, so. And they don't have Ellie anymore because she's banned, so Bermuda's a little bit more open. Now, the grade 3, it's banned. Well, not banned, but hit to 1 because the card was so powerful, apparently. He drew massive amount of cards. But let me explain the skill. So it's on place, Soulbox 1. Choose any 2 of either player's rear guard circles that you can return to hand. You return one of yourselves. If you return one of your opponent's draw card, you return one of your cards, search a jet for a GB2, add it to your hand. Then Generation Break 2, instead of discarding for the cost of strike, you call him the RC instead. Yeah, this card was this. It was really insane. It was really busted. It made it made Harmony actually good. If this skill was slapped onto Loris, then many people wouldn't have a problem with that, I feel. Well, it still would have been a problem because of her skill anyway. So the card was just slapped on everything. Riviere Trois was born. We had Anj Mimin, which is basically like a tank stall deck, sort of, because you would filter with Mimin because Anj can search herself, and the Mimin is counterboss 2, draw 2. You return up to 1. You can return up to 1 card in your hand if you have a Vanguard with the same name as a rear guard with the same name as a Vanguard. Sorry, but if you didn't, you return 3. So basically, you just draw a bunch of cards to Anj. It doesn't matter. You call Mimin, counterboss 1. Return triggers back to your deck. And you have Sapania, which was on place if your opponent. If you have a card with the same name as your Vanguard, you counter draws 1. So Mimin was like filtering out the deck for free, and you could just almost all the time. And then you strike Tarura, where your deck's super compressed, and you have Lucille for extra attacks. Yeah, the deck was insane. Not to mention the list. What I said about Anj with Melody and Harmony, that was a pretty good one. And like, I think it was an Anj Shizuku list, but it wasn't really that strong. People even texting Anj just because, like, oh, if I miswrite a grade 3, I could just have Anj and she would just like reform the deck. The card was just so strong they have to put it to 1. Which, looking at it now, her strength today is like, it's significantly lower because it's only like 1 card. However, if you do draw that 1 card, you can restabilize if you get lucky, but I don't think she's gonna be used until if Bushro even decides to even like make it back to 2 or errata it, but that's for a story for another day. Of course, she's my favorite card, so she's the best one when it comes to attractiveness, so I'll put her right here. Actually, I think she's more in the middle. So yeah, that was my Bermuda tier list. So I mean, not really a tier list. I guess it's more of a display, sort of. I'm not sure what to call it. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.